You feel it, don't you? The tightness in your chest, the weight behind your eyes, a silent ache. Something inside you is trying to speak. There is a kind of suffering that does not scream or bleed or beg. It waits, like a torch beneath the fog, unseen, burning, slowly. Kierkegaard called it despair, not a sickness of the body, but of the soul, a fire lit the moment you turned away from who you truly are. There is a kind of forgetting, more dangerous than death, not the loss of memory, but the loss of yourself. Kierkegaard believed despair begins the moment you abandon your true name and kneel to a life that was never yours. You obey, you perform, you adapt. You wear the cloak handed to you, even if it doesn't fit. And day by day, the voice within you, the rightful king, is exiled to the shadows. But he does not die. He waits. And when the castle is quiet, in the loneliness, in the sleepless hours, he knocks at the gate. Emotions are not enemies. They are messengers sent from the highest tower of the soul, ringing the bell no one wants to hear. Anxiety may be the sound of the guard crying out, "We are not where we are meant to be." Sadness, the cold echo of dreams buried too soon. Numbness, the silence after the kingdom has stopped listening altogether. We call these feelings problems, symptoms, flaws. But Kierkegaard saw them as warnings. The soul rings its alarm not with logic, but with ache and fire. It begins as a signal, faint, flickering, easy to overlook. But ignore it long enough, and it will return, no longer as a beacon, but as a battering ram. The soul may fall silent, but the body keeps speaking. It remembers your self-betrayal, the ship you watch drift from shore, as fear of dark seas holds you at the harbor. When the trumpet calls for the brave, and you tell yourself it's meant for someone stronger. Kierkegaard didn't use the language of biology, but what he called despair. Modern science is beginning to understand. Suppressed emotion does not disappear. It burrows. It settles in the chest, in the gut, in the sword left sheathed when rebellion was needed. Psychologists now confirm what Kierkegaard always suspected. When we silence what hurts, the body pays the price. Chronic pain, autoimmune flare-ups, nights you cannot sleep and cannot explain why. These are often no mere symptoms of chance, but the scars of feelings unspoken, echoes of truths never lived. And they will haunt the body until the soul is allowed to speak again. Not all despair wears the face of suffering. Some of it wears a smile, a tidy home, a steady post, a portrait that looks almost real. Kierkegaard warned of this, the kind of despair that hides behind order, behind the quiet illusion that all is well. He called it the most dangerous kind, because it never cries for help. You rise, you perform, you say what is expected, But beneath the motions, the self lies dormant. You have become a role, cloaked in peace, while something long forgotten stirs beneath the surface. And the longer the mask stays on, the more you forget there was ever a face beneath it. Despair here does not howl. It functions, it smiles, it produces. And slowly, invisibly, it hollows you from within. What if the ache you carry isn't here to break you, but to lead you home? Kierkegaard believed that despair, far from being a curse, was a compass, a divine disturbance. Not every kind of suffering is senseless. Some pain exists to reveal the truth of your life. When you walk a path not meant for you, the soul begins to tear. When you ignore it, the wound begins to fester. And even then, it's not trying to hurt you, it's trying to turn you. The discomfort you feel when you lie to yourself, that's direction. The dread you feel when you live in contradiction, that's your soul desperately trying to pull you back together. Pain is not always punishment. Sometimes it is the map. If only you'd learn to read it. To return to yourself is not a matter of inspiration. It is a matter of courage. Kierkegaard believed that becoming who you truly are, is the greatest task of human life. But the path is narrow and it is guarded. The first trial is the mask. To remove it, to admit what is false, the words you don't mean, the dreams that aren't yours, the self you built for applause. The second trial is the burden, to take back the weight of the crown you placed on others. No one is coming to save you. The throne of your life must be claimed by you or by no one. The third trial is the unknown. To enter the shadowed forest, to sail into uncharted waters with only a compass, not motivated by the certainty of outcome, but by the quiet call of purpose. These are not just metaphorical trials, they are waiting for you now. And every day you delay, the gates grow heavier. There comes a moment when the path ends, not in failure, but in fog. No signs, no map, no guarantee of who you will become. Kierkegaard called this the leap of faith. Not blind belief in gods or creeds, no, but in the possibility of becoming more than what you are. It is the moment you stop asking, what if I should fail? And begin asking, what if I never try? The false self clings to certainty. The true self emerges only when you step forward into the unknown. No one can walk this bridge for you, and it will never appear clearly before you. It only becomes visible once you've begun to cross. Beneath all the noise, beneath the masks, the numbness, the distractions, something long buried waits. It is not loud, it does not demand, but it is always there. A well, hidden beneath the stone of your forgetting, filling slowly, day by day, with the troubled waters of everything you refuse to feel. Kierkegaard did not see despair as the enemy, but as a call to return, Most people fear that voice, and so they build louder lives around it. But if you are brave enough to descend, to sit with what you've tried to bury, you may find something still alive down there, something real. And when you drink from that water, you will no longer feel like a stranger to yourself. So, the question is no longer simply, what am I feeling? The question is, will I answer? The journey doesn't end here. Subscribe and keep going.